morning. Welcome to Community Conversations on KLK 102.5 FM. I apologize for the silence. There was a gap in the intro. All right, so I'm your host for today. Is Tuesday, November 6th. Today is voting day. I'm your host, Kabila Jones, and my very special guest today is Mrs. Wendy Stotts. She, are you director?
Program manager
for the Arkansas Single Parent Scholarship Fund. So we want to thank her for joining us because we have a lot of valuable information to share with you. Deadlines are quickly approaching, and there's some other important information that you just need to know about the scholarship fund and how to apply, who's eligible, and things of that nature. So we're going to get right into the information. This is information for, it says open scholarship application for spring 2019. So if you're getting ready to go to school anywhere in Arkansas for 2019, this is the information you need to know. So let's just get started with the deadline to apply.
Certainly. Kubila, should I be hearing you through these?
Well, you should, but if not, this is okay.
Okay.
Because I can hear you.
Good. Well, the application for all counties in Arkansas is open right now on the website, and the deadline for applying is actually January the 15th. That's the regular deadline for all applicants. This is for any single parent who is continuing their education, any single parent who's preparing to begin their higher education, or any kind of technical training. For instance, a welding license or an electrician's license, those kinds of things. If you're working toward a vocational program, then that makes you eligible as well. So January the 15th. But one key thing I'd like to say here is that you do have to have proof of enrollment, and a transcript. So those of you who are enrolled right now, you might not have access to that until the middle of December. So you could begin your application, but you can't submit until you have that information.
Okay. All right, so, and yeah, I understand because I'm actually applying for a program, even though I'm not applying for the scholarship, but I do understand, waiting until the end of December until you get your transcript. So that can be a little frustrating for some people.
Yes.
But I'm sure there's other things they can do to still get the application filled out, prepared while they're waiting on that one last piece.
Absolutely. You can get all of the other supporting documents that are required, and those are all listed on our website. It's things like your FAFSA, if you filled out your FAFSA, and you can use last year's FAFSA. Any proof of marital status, we do need that type of information. Continuing applicants have already provided that, so the continuing applicants are the ones who would just wait on their proof of enrollment and their current transcript. And it doesn't have to be an official transcript. You can print it from your portal. If you're at ASU or any other school, you can just print it from there.
Oh, okay. That's awesome. There's one thing I want to note here under the marital status. It says you're married but living apart, and your divorce will be final by the time the scholarship is awarded. So that's very important to note, that if you state that you're separated, you must have already, filed for divorce, and your divorce will be final before the scholarship. So when will the scholarship actually be awarded? Is that date on here?
No, it probably isn't, but it will be during the month of February.
Okay.
And the way that works is volunteers in each county review the applications, see if the student meets the criteria and if all the supporting documents are there, and then they make award decisions, request checks, and then you will receive notice of an award ceremony. So we try to make it a special time, and the check is actually awarded directly to the student. It doesn't have to be awarded to your college or wherever you're going to school, or it's awarded directly to the student, so that whatever the greatest need is what you're able to use these funds for.
And I'm sure that it's going to be a blessing in disguise. Well, not disguise, but a blessing, true blessing, because I know what it's like being a single parent. I wasn't in school at the time. However, I know many single parents that are, and there's gas, there's groceries, there's clothes, there's household expenses, toiletries,
child care.
Yes,
absolutely.
So
that you're balancing so much if you're a single parent and trying to improve your life by getting your higher education. And so this organization is committed to really breaking down barriers that keep single parents from going to school. In many cases, they qualify for federal assistance for their tuition and those kinds of things. But this is really to help with a medical bill or a gasoline or tires or whatever those kinds of expenses are.
So how much is the award, or is it based on the information submitted by the...
It's actually based on the number of hours that you are enrolled in.
Okay.
A full-time student for the spring semester would get a check for $600.
Okay. Oh, that helps out a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, that can be, depending on where someone lives, that could either be their rent for the month that was saved on whatever they're earning from their job, if they have a job. Again, that could be groceries stretched out over several months.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
$600 can go a long way.
It sure can. It sure can. And I think that when I think about things that in our world people pay money for and how much they spend on things that are not necessary, and I think, goodness, do you know how far that much money could go?
Yes, ma'am. Especially now that I'm older and I'm, a lot more wiser with my money. I'm like, okay, I can do better.
Absolutely.
All right. And so for part-time students, how much would they be rewarded?
It kind of breaks down by hour. So
Okay.
I think the minimum, by course. If you're
Okay.
taking a 3-hour course, it would be $125.
Okay.
So, and then it goes from there.
Okay. All right. So, and then all this information also can be found on https://www.aspsf.org. That's Arkansas Single Parent Scholarship Fund.org, but just the letters of each word.
That's a perfect description. When I say that address, it's so many consonants that it's hard to hear, but that's exactly what it is, the first letter of each of the words of our organization.
All right, so let's go into the parenting status. You're the custodial parent or guardian with physical custody, 50% or more of at least one dependent child. A dependent child is 18 or younger, older than 18 and still in high school, or a severely disabled adult living with and dependent on you. So, now it doesn't list the age. Does it list the age of the parent? And does that go into account?
It does not. We have it. I love when I get to sit down with the students and interview them. We have grandmothers who are raising their grandchildren, who are, like I said, working toward a better life for themselves and for their grandchildren.
Okay.
Just breaking a cycle sometimes of poverty, and so they're working toward that, and they're so motivated, and it's just beautiful. And then we have young ones who have a child, and we have some first semester freshmen this year who came right out of high school but had a child, and so we're able to help all ages. That does not factor in at all.
All right, so definitely want to encourage everyone that is eligible to please sign up for this Arkansas Single Parent Scholarship Fund. It's not that hard. I mean, let me ask you this. If someone is married, of course they can't be married. We talked about that, so I apologize to anyone that's married. But if you're married, separated, and getting a divorce, you may be eligible if your divorce is final by the time of the scholarship award. By the time the scholarship is awarded in February.
Right.
But we're not encouraging anyone to get divorced just to get the scholarship. Please don't break up your marriage.
No. And we do. I do want to point out that a lot of times the single moms is what is thought of. We do have a lot of single dads who apply for our scholarship, who have custody of their children as identified here, and so it's and then we have folks in non-traditional roles. We have a lady in Mississippi County who is going to school to be a welder because she sees the opportunity for great wages and benefits with the Trinity Rail car industry, the company here. And so it really is it's just all across the board. It's so exciting and energizing to see these folks really just looking for what they would enjoy and what could bring in the most income for their family and daddies too.
All right, so again, this is not limited to just the moms. Dads are more than welcome. Grandparents are more than welcome. Even if what if it's a single aunt or uncle?
If the child is living with them.
Okay, so
if they have custody of the child.
And can show proof that they have custody.
Absolutely.
All right, so there you go. Not no one. Just read the requirements and see if you fit into the categories. And you never know what can happen. You may be awarded a scholarship that goes directly to you.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's go into living status. Can you go through that?
Yes, and this would be back to your aunt or uncle question. If you're the only adult in the home with the children, or you live with your parents or a relative and you're a single parent, or you live with a roommate who is not your partner or your significant other, that's key right there. Or a co-parent. So if the other parent doesn't live in the home with you, that qualifies you as a single parent and you have custody.
Now with this situation, will someone have to show proof of their lease to show who's on their lease for wherever they live?
No, but that would be a great way to do that.
I'm not trying to get anybody in trouble. But I mean, we want people to be fair and honest and not try to take away opportunity from someone else just to get the scholarship.
Through the course of the application, the part that you can go ahead and complete now until you get your final documents, it would ask you questions related to that. But proof of where you live has not been one of those. But that's a great thought. This I have to qualify that with. I've been with the organization since March. We've just gone through the fall scholarship cycle, so it's my first time to go through a big cycle. We had almost 50 applicants in Craighead County. I also have Mississippi County and Greene and Poinsett and Randolph and Lawrence and Clay. I have 7 counties. So to go through that whole process and see the things that come up, the questions that come up, has been very educational. So going forward, I've learned a lot this semester.
So you can you're equipped with more tools for the next cycle.
Yes.
All right. So let's go through a few more of these bulleted requirements that are on the list. Legal resident of the United States or a resident with DACA status applying in the county where you live. Right now, with so many ups and downs, we don't know what's happening, with the current administration as far as decisions that are being made concerning citizenship status. So is that just kind of up in the air at the moment, or where they stand as of right now?
Where they stand as of right now. If you're a resident of one of the keys here is that you apply in the county that you live in. So whatever your address is in. When you go to our website, you click on Find My County. And it will take you to whatever county you live in. And the money that is raised to support these scholarships is raised in your local county. So our county volunteers are supporting students in their own county. So really the only caveat there is that you if you're a resident of that county, regardless of your citizenship status.
Alrighty. And then have earned a high school diploma or GED. So they have to already have it in their hands.
Right. This is not for high school students. It's for higher education. It's really students working toward what sets them apart from in the workforce, a certification of some kind. And
then have not previously earned a bachelor's degree.
Right. If you want to study something different, but you already have a bachelor's degree, we can't support. Unfortunately.
All right, and have at least a 2.0 cumulative GPA, which that's fairly low and I think attainable, which is basically a C average.
That's right.
All right, so household income is typically not more than 250% of federal poverty guidelines, and then there's a link
Right.
I see. So if someone was unsure of where they fall,
That's exactly right.
there's a link on the website.
That's right. And it'll show you the breakdown of federal poverty guidelines.
And so does it give you a breakdown of, based on you and your child, what you bring in, and then what the guideline is? And is it okay? All right. And then have completed or are in the process of completing. You mentioned, of course, the FAFSA. So you need to have that completed, or in the process of completing it. Attending or planning to attend an Arkansas Single Parent Scholarship Fund approved school or training program. Now, are there some in Arkansas that are not approved?
Typically, what that means is the ones who are for profit. There are some institutions who are who will take your money and are not accredited and are really for-profit institutions. They're a business. So it really comes down to, if it's something that you want to do, we can look at it on a case-by-case basis and determine. There is an approved list, and I believe there may be a link to that as well. My copy doesn't have the links. No. Well, when the application is submitted, if the institution is one in question, we will do the research on our end and determine if we can fund it. There are very few that we can't fund. Phoenix, the University of Phoenix is one of those. That's a for-profit organization.
WSU, like Washington. I just know it has the logo of an eagle or owl or something.
Yeah.
Starts with a W.
Is it WGU? Maybe?
Probably so.
I think, yes, we've run into that one, and we can't fund that one.
Okay.
So, but, if you have questions about that, and, if you want to attend a certain institution, you can ask those questions ahead of time. And in many cases, we can get those approved. It's unusual for one to be denied.
Okay. Now, I want to ask this about online. Like, I'm an online student, and even though I don't qualify, but there may be students who are online students or who prefer online versus on campus. So many of the universities offer the online option. So could someone who meets their other requirements, prefers online, could they apply?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We do have online students, and of course I understand how that is so much more flexible with the life that you're trying to keep afloat.
Okay.
And I'm taking online classes as well, so you and I are both in the same boat there, and just you can work it into your life more easily that way. So yes, we can support that. Again, it's just back to that providing proof of enrollment, and the number of hours determines how much you're awarded.
All right. It says pursuing a degree certification that leads to employment at family supporting wages. Okay, so like you mentioned before, the individual who was going for the welding certificate because it's going to improve their wages. So whoever applies, they need to be going for something that's going to help put them above where they currently are.
Exactly.
Okay.
Professional education, HVAC, things like that give you a certification that puts you ahead of other applicants for a job, because you've got this professional license of some kind. So vocational education, absolutely. We have a lot in the medical field, health studies, nursing. Sometimes the jobs for phlebotomy or a CNA are not as available as they might be for an LPN. And so we might encourage you to look at where you can, where you live and what the jobs are most available to you. We do network with all of the organizations. For instance, at ANC in Blytheville, we network with Career Pathways and the TRIO program, and we try to do that on all of the college campuses to work together. We're all working for the same set of students, just providing a different service. So, for instance, I don't know if your listening area goes as far as Blytheville and Osceola.
Not not quite, but we have people who check our Facebook and things like that often. So.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll pick up some more, because I had another question concerning another type of school. I'm writing my note here.
Okay.
But we're going to take a quick break. We're tuning in to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back after these announcements.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
Is it time for you to get out of the driver's seat? I'm Mark Merrill with today's Family Minute. My friend's 15-year-old just got her restricted driver's license. You know what that means. Old Dad had to white-knuckle it from the passenger side. Talk about nerve-wracking. But believe it or not, he said the worst part wasn't the close calls with the curbs, cars, and trees. It was realizing that his little girl was growing up and that he needed to start letting go. Allowing our children to begin taking control of their own lives can feel like a bumpy ride. But letting go is the only way they'll ever find the road to independence. Remember, your family first.
For more resources on today's topic, go to markmerrill.com. The Family Minute with Mark Merrill, helping families love well.
Family Minute is made possible by the Kappa Nu Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, a non-profit organization committed to service to all mankind. Kappa Nu Omega Alpha Kappa Alpha on Facebook and KNOMEGA1908.com.
Family Minute is brought to you by the Gears Foundation, a nonprofit organization providing students with assistance in their academic and career pursuits. Gears Foundation on Facebook, Gears_Inc. on Instagram, and the Gears Foundation at gmail.com.
KLEK thanks CJ Pepper and the staff of Life Strategies Counseling Incorporated for helping people through hard times in life such as depression, family issues, stress, abuse, and more. They offer counseling and therapy for all ages, individuals, families, and groups. They are located at 1217 Stone Street. Phone number 1-866-972-1268 or online at lscihelp.com.
Hello, I'm Officer Jonathan Hagens of the Jonesboro Police Department. One of the best decisions I ever made was to join the Jonesboro Police Department. Since joining, I've had the pleasure to give back, protect, and serve my community. Now I want to let you know about that same opportunity. The Jonesboro Police Department will conduct testing for the patrol officers at the Valley View High School. Applications are available online at jonesboropolice.com. The Jonesboro Police Department offers a competitive salary, health, and retirement benefits, top-of-the-line training, and most importantly, the chance to make a difference in the Jonesboro community. Join me in making Jonesboro a better place. The Jonesboro Police Department is an equal opportunity employer, and women and minorities are especially encouraged to apply. More information, 870-935-5657.
Applications are being accepted. Applications are available at jonesboropolice.com.
The Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated was established on June 28, 1997 by 13 dynamic women who accepted the challenge and honor of chartering the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter. Today, the chapter continues to impact the Jonesboro community by sponsoring programs such as the Sonia D. Williams Scholarship Breakfast, Back to School Bash, Disaster Preparedness, Delta Academy, Empower African Girls, and Autism Awareness. Our focus correlates with the national theme, uncompromising commitment to communities, service, leadership, empowerment. Our chapter supports Delta's 5-point programmatic thrusts: economic development, educational development, international awareness and involvement, physical and mental health, and political awareness and involvement. More information about the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated is available at www.jonesboroalumnidst.org or via email jonesboroalumni@live.com.
The key to making this station even better could be parked in your driveway right now. Donate your old car to us, you'll get a tax deduction, and we'll tow it away for free.
Go to klekfm.org for more information.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
welcome back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. My special guest is Mrs. Wendy Stotts from the Arkansas Single Parent Scholarship Fund. I want to thank her so much for giving us her time today and sharing this valuable information with you. Again, the deadline to apply for the scholarship fund is January 15th. You must apply in the county in which you live, and we will recap some of the qualifications, but we want to go through some more information, make sure we get it all in. All right, so before we went to break, we were talking about the types of schools or institutions that you can fund, and I had a thought about cosmetology. Have you ever had anyone apply for the fund?
We have, absolutely. Lots, as a matter of fact. And again, that kind of goes back to the college. If it's an accredited college, beauty college, then we can work toward that. Absolutely.
Okay, because I know we have several schools in town. One that I attended, don't know as far as accreditation, how all that works, but I do know ASU Marktree has a cosmetology program. So, not trying to direct you one way or another, just saying that that's one I know for sure.
Yes, and a lot of those programs are on not the semester schedule. They're on a different schedule. Like you can enroll at any time, or they'll have a period of so many months that it takes to get that program completed. And we, even though our deadlines fall on the semester schedule, we still can accept those applications and work through that with you. Yes, and I talk about working through with students. I love the interaction when students have questions or when they are working on their application. I love to be able to get to know them, work through the process with them. If they can't get one of their documents uploaded, I can help with that. So that kind of thing. So contact me and let me help you figure it out.
All right. We don't want anyone to not have the opportunity to get their application reviewed and processed because of one or two simple things that someone else can help with.
That's right.
Again, if you are a single parent, you know someone who's a single parent, grandparent, mom or dad, that is raising the child 50% of the time or more, please encourage them, or please apply for the Single Parent Scholarship Fund. Again, full-time students, again, based on the hours, they're 15 or 12 hours?
It's 12 hours.
12
is
hours.
Considered a full-time load, so that would be the $600.
Okay, $600. And part-time, there's a different scale for that. So you would have to go to the website or talk to someone who handles, like Miss Wendy. Talk to Miss Wendy. She can give you more of a breakdown of how it goes with the part-time enrollment.
Right.
Okay. Let's see. With support from a number of partners and donors. First let's talk about the applications available at, again, www.aspsf.org, which stands for Arkansas Single Parent Scholarship Fund.org. Applicants should click on scholarships, then find your county. That's very, very important. You have to apply within the county that you're living in, your county of residence, to find the appropriate scholarship application link. So that's very key. Go to the website, go to find your county, and then go from there. All right, and it says, with support from a number of partners and donors, Single Parent Scholarship Fund statewide award well over $1.5 million in scholarship each year. Wow. A follow-up of 2017, scholarship recipients revealed that 87% of the students stayed in school or completed their programs. 65% of graduates were employed full-time within 3 to 6 months of graduation, and 90% of working graduates earned above poverty wage. That's really amazing.
It is amazing.
So after someone has received the scholarship, they've gone on through school and completed their courses, have they come back and talked to you and shared their stories and their journey with you?
Oh, yes, and we love that so much. We try to get them involved with the organization after they've completed their program or during their program. We love for them to be a part of the process. Volunteers, I'm always needing volunteers. As I was saying earlier before we went on the air, in Craighead County we had over 50 applicants, and we awarded $15,000 this semester to students. So really the only thing that would disqualify you is if you don't meet those minimum requirements. If it's not, there's no subjectivity in the process. It's not based on who you are, who you know, none of that.
Okay.
This is very much based on the criteria. And so if you don't make a 2-point, then we can't award you. Very simple, yes or no. The gray area may come in where we had a student who didn't make the deadline because of a house fire. And so we can work through things like that and reopen the link when life just interrupts, as we all know it will. We want to work with students, especially ones who we know are making an attempt to do the right thing and get things where they need to be and have missed a deadline because of something like that. So.
And I think for those that have gone through the program, this would be a great opportunity for them to get involved in, like you said, volunteerism, community service, advocacy, because they can then share their story with someone else who is going through the process and say, look, I was a single parent. I received this X amount of dollar, scholarship, and this is how it helped me get over the hump. For people, and this is not throwing jabs at anyone who is already well-to-do, who has a job and who's living their life. But those that are trying to come up to where they are, we don't realize how much just even $600 can help someone. What difference it can make between eating, having groceries, gas in the car, bills being paid. It's a variety of things that this money can cover, and it can make a big difference, not just on that, but on someone's emotional and mental well-being as well. Because oftentimes, and I have seen people quit going to school because they have to get a job.
Right.
I was at a place, I didn't pursue my education earlier, finishing it because I was a single parent then, and I felt that I had to work more. Working was more important than going to school because I had bills to pay.
Right.
So,
and these students are juggling all of that and working toward their goal. I didn't answer your question earlier about students coming back and telling us their stories.
Sorry.
I got sidetracked, chased a rabbit there. But on the website, there are actually some success stories that you can see and hear from. We have it runs a wide range of circumstances. There's one described on the website that was addicted to meth and has come out of that, and such a testimony to their children. When I was in Mississippi County recently, one of the little girls, as the mama was awarded, the little girl had on a shirt that said, my hero is mommy. I think it was something like that, and just it really changes the children's future as well. They see what can be achieved. We had a mother, an older mother. I'm an older mother, so I can say that. We have an older mother who had actually lost a disabled child before, and she is a young child, and her husband, they separated during the process of caring for that disabled child. And because life is hard, and we're committed as an organization to really support these students through the pursuit of their bachelor's degree. So another example of something that we're working on in one of the counties is to have a budgeting seminar, bless you, sponsored by one of the banks here in town. And and this is for previous recipients, but if they come to the budgeting workshop, they leave with a coupon for a turkey that we're going to do it on the 15th of November.
Wow.
And this is just to give you an idea of the support that comes along with being a scholarship recipient. A lot of those kinds of soft skills. I think I came back in the summer and talked about the job skills workshop that we had. Those are the kinds of things that these volunteers do for our students. That budgeting workshop and the turkey giveaway for current scholarship recipients, that's to help them get through the Thanksgiving week with some food, and when their kids are not in school getting lunch at school, just trying to support those, bless you again, those needs that we know you have and that you're facing. So
that's really awesome. So it's not like you just give them money and then you turn them loose and you never talk to them again.
No.
You actually follow up and follow through, and you make sure that they have, or they're gaining the skills they need along the way, so that once they graduate and get into their field of choice, they are well equipped and are going to be successful, productive workers in the field.
That's exactly right. We awarded a student here in Craighead County this semester who had been a volunteer in a southern Arkansas county and was not a single parent at the time she was a volunteer.
Okay.
And now she's here in Craighead County and going to ASU and is a single parent. So we were able to award a previous volunteer, and she's going to get involved in volunteering for the organization here. So there are stories I could go on and on about how the success and just the network of support and the commitment that we have to the students.
That's awesome. Again, you're tuned in to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We're speaking with Mrs. Wendy Stotts from the Arkansas Single Parent Scholarship Fund. I want to say good morning to Ms. Cora Evans Hester and Keisha Higgins. Thank you for tuning in, and to everyone else out there listening. Please share this information. Go to www.aspsf.org. If you know a single parent, you are a single parent, your child is under 18, or they're older than 18 but still in high school, or there are severely disabled adult living with and dependent on you. So there's some other qualifications that you must meet as well, but please consider applying. If you know someone, encourage them to apply. Any little bit of extra can help them along the way. Now let's get back into your volunteer necessity, your need for volunteers.
Yes.
What are some things that you need for volunteers to do to help you out to kind of lighten the load? Because you're kind of working almost by yourself a little bit.
I do have a couple of really great volunteers here in Craighead County. We need volunteers in every county that I work with, actually every county of Arkansas if you're from outside of my seven counties, but I would love to plug you into my 7 counties. But we really are looking to build an army of volunteers so that no one feels the whole load of what has to get done. And it really is busiest in the fall when we receive those applications. So the applications come in on the website. If a volunteer is interested in reviewing applications and making sure all the criteria are met, that's something that can be done from your desk. If you're in a position that you have time to do, at a reception desk or whatever, if there's time where you have to be there but your work is already done, we have a lot of folks who are able to review applications like that. And I can give you a login. You can go through, check the minimum criteria, comment in the box. It's really very streamlined, and make recommendations based on if they've provided all of the requirements. And then the next step after that is conducting interviews. And the interviews can be conducted at your office location, at a common meeting place, a public place. I can help with those. So if interviewing applicants and getting to know the applicants, which is again one of my favorite parts, so I drive all over doing those. But if that's something that you might be interested in, just the interviewing part or just the reviewing the applications, then after those interviews are completed, and sometimes things come up during the interviews that would disqualify a person if they haven't been completely up front in their application. So that's the purpose really in that face-to-face. And it's also the purpose in that is growing their skills in interviewing, giving them practice in that area. So so reviewing applications, conducting interviews. Then we have a very simple but nice award ceremony in each county, and we you could bring refreshments for that. You could set up for that. We had a big one here in Craighead. We had it at the Cooper Alumni Center, which one of our volunteers is an A-State employee, so she was able to get that for us. So it's at a nice place. I brought a popcorn bar. That's simple for me to carry all over the place. Is to get a big bag of Malco and just have toppings for popcorn, and the kids love that. So that kind of thing, if you want to bring refreshments or set up the table or be there, print the certificates. There are all kinds of office type ways to be involved. I'm working on a fundraiser right now. Am I going too long?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
Okay, I'm working on a fundraiser for Craighead County that we're going to have in February. And we have a steering committee for that I'm trying to put together. So if you're interested to volunteer to just work on a fundraising event, the reason that local fundraising is so important is that any funds that we raise in Craighead County or Greene or Poinsett or any of those counties stay in that county. So what we raise in Craighead is awarded to Craighead students. However, we have the opportunity to earn more through the state. So if we raise $8,000, that's my goal. If we raise $8,000 at this event in February, the state will match that. And that's amazing. That's what allows us to make enough for the number of applicants we have in Craighead for the spring semester. I mentioned we awarded $15,000 this semester. So we need that much again in the spring. Even if we don't award it all, it will take us into the summer and cover our summer students. So that opportunity exists if we get that done by March 1. So February 23rd is the event. If you would like to volunteer for that, I would love for you to be on the steering committee. It's going to be an event called Beauty and the Beads, and it will be all about jewelry. We'll have silent auction items that are jewelry. We'll have a nice piece of jewelry to raffle, a piece of fine jewelry, and we will have an appearance by Beauty, Belle, whatever you want to call her, from Beauty and the Beast, but this is called Beauty and the Beads. So it will be a luncheon at the Hilton Garden Inn on February 23rd from 11 to 1, and we will have lunch and appearance by Belle, and she will do activities. We're kind of targeting ladies and their favorite little princess to come and bring their favorite little girl, and she'll have an experience with Belle, and we'll have a nice lunch and the silent auction items and the raffle items. And another piece of that is that if you bring a non-perishable food item, then you're entered into a different raffle, and that will help us to support our students through spring break when their kids are not at school. So that's kind of our goal with that.
So this is a fun event with a purpose.
Yes, absolutely. Lots of purposes, actually. I couldn't stop my brain, really, when I got going. Beauty and the Beads has been held all over the state in other areas, but it's not been held here. It's kind of the Single Parent Scholarship Fund's signature event. And so this will be the first time for us to have it in our area. And I have planned events in my previous roles and positions, and I enjoy that, and really doing it for a purpose makes all the difference in the world. And so we're real excited about this, and I hope maybe I can come back closer to time and talk about that. If anybody wants to volunteer with me on that, you can email me at wstotts, STOTTS, at that ASPSF.org. I think, if you just go to Google and Google Wendy Stotts, it pops up. The Arkansas Single Parent Scholarship Fund pops up. No, that's no problem. I wish there was a way for it not to have so many consonants, but then it wouldn't make sense. So.
This would be a great event. Halloween's already over. I'm sure there's still costumes available on discount. If you and your little girl want something mom and daughter to do, go get some costumes. Start early getting your, princess stuff together.
Yes.
But there's a lot. Disney has come up with so many princesses, so you can go as anybody.
Absolutely. This event was just called Beauty and the Beads, and they had not had the little girl aspect to it. And I know in this area that will really go over well, I feel like.
Yes,
so we have a professional Belle coming, and she will be in character the whole time, and it'll just be fun. It'll be fun.
All right, we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we will wrap up and recap more information about the qualifications on applying for the Single Parent Scholarship Fund for the spring semester of 2019. We'll be right back after these announcements.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
We're back with Money Matters. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. If you're a newlywed, the IRS has a few tips to keep you ready for the tax issues that accompany marriage. First, the names and Social Security numbers on your tax return need to match your Social Security Administration records. Don't forget to submit a new Form W-4 to your employer. Also, if you and your honey plan to maintain a two-income household, know that the combination of you and your spouse's incomes will likely put you in a higher tax bracket. Consult Publication 505, Tax Withholding and Estimated Tax, for details. Update your address. This might seem like common sense, but it's easy to forget amidst all the wedding planning. And make sure your filing status is correct. For more information on tax issues for married couples, go to irs.gov. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. for Money Matters, a product of American Urban Radio Networks.
Money Matters is made possible by the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, a nonprofit organization dedicated to uncompromising commitment to communities, service, leadership, empowerment. www.jonesboroalumnidst.org.
Money Matters is brought to you by the Gears Foundation, a nonprofit organization providing students with assistance in their academic and career pursuits. Gears Foundation on Facebook, Gears_Inc. on Instagram, and the Gears Foundation at gmail.com.
Money Matters is brought to you by Bancorp South, offering checking, savings, loans, credit cards, and wealth management. 5 locations in Jonesboro to serve you. www.bancorpsouth.com or 870-972-9800.
Starks Auto Plaza at 2829 Red Wolf Boulevard is a proud KLEK supporter, offering luxury pre-owned vehicles sold wholesale to the public. At Starks, we never say no. 870-203-9980. Details at starksautoplaza.com.
Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, Mu Omicron Lambda Alumni Chapter presents our annual Smoked Turkey Scholarship Fundraiser, with proceeds benefiting ACT testing scholarships for area students. Prepaid orders for turkeys and turkey legs will be taken through November 9th, with pickup on November 19th. Ordering and other information is available via any member of the chapter or on the KLEK website, www.klekfm.org.
The McDaniel Law Firm, 400 South Main Street in Jonesboro, is a firm believer in justice and equality for the minority community. The McDaniel Law Firm has fought for our rights for over 44 years. The McDaniel Law Firm offers legal help for wrongful death as well as trucking and automobile accidents. Bobby and Brett McDaniel are available for a free consultation at 870-336-4747 or at www.mcdaniellawyers.com. House of Details, located at 3217 Herb Street, Suite C, is a proud supporter of KLEK, offering detailing on any type of vehicle: waxing, clear coat protection, basic wash, hand wash, shampoo, interior cleaning, buffering, headlight restoration, pickup, delivery, and more. With a motto of, anything mean, we can clean. Details available via Quentin Bogard at 870-273-5187. House of Details on Facebook and houseofdetailsjonesboro.com.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
All right, welcome welcome back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We're speaking with Mrs. Wendy Stotts from the Arkansas Single Parent Scholarship Fund. We've had just as much fun off air as on air, so I can't thank Miss Wendy enough for coming and joining me today and sharing this wonderful information. I hope that everyone out there listening and watching our video takes away the information and, puts it to good use. If you can't use it, share it with someone else who can.
Please.
Help those single parents out there who need just a little bit extra help getting over the financial hump while they're in school. This money can really help them. And then just because they get accepted to the program, they get the scholarship, they don't get just let loose, There's someone that will follow up with them. They go through different programs such as budgeting or job skills workshops. Because it's one thing we talked about before, those soft skills. And a lot of employers really, one of their biggest complaints about their new employees is that they don't have certain skills that coming right into the job they have to train for, which takes away time and money and for extra training on how to deal with the type of customers they serve.
That's exactly right.
All right. So let's recap again some of the information for those that may have missed the beginning: marital status, parenting status, and living status.
Living in the state of Arkansas or Bowie County, Texas, which is Texarkana. That's why that's in there. And then meeting the definition of a single parent, which means you're single, have never been married, or you're single, and single qualifies as never been married, widowed, divorced, or legally separated. Or married but living apart, and your divorce will be final by the time the scholarship is awarded. And in this case, that would be by February, end of February. Parenting status: the custodial parent or guardian with physical custody 50% or more of at least one dependent child, and the child is 18 or younger, or older than 18 but still in high school. Lots of seniors turn 18 when they're in high school. Or a severely disabled adult living with you and dependent on you. And then you're the only adult in the home, or you live with your parents or live with a roommate who is not the child's father or mother, and is not your partner, not a significant other. And then a resident with DACA status or a legal resident of the U.S. applying in the county where you live. And as Kubila's mentioned, and I mentioned as well, that county where you live is the key here to applying, and that's where all the support takes place, is at your county level. Have a high school diploma or a GED and have not or previously earned a bachelor's degree. So this would be you're working toward your first degree, bachelor's degree, or professional certification like we talked about. So then have at least a 2.0 cumulative GPA, and your household income is not more than 250% of federal poverty guidelines, and the federal poverty guidelines are on our website. And then the FAFSA, you will have completed or are completing the FAFSA, attending or planning to attend an approved school, and we spent some time talking about that. If you have a question about if the school you want to go to would be approved, just contact me and we'll work through that and make sure. But just be careful that nobody is trying to take your money for profit. If they require the FAFSA, then you're in pretty good shape. You'll know that will be an approved school. Yeah, so click on the application is at www.aspsf.org, and click on scholarships, and then on Find Your County, and the application link is there.
Well, we thank you so very much, and this has been wonderful information. And again, if you are a single parent and you may not meet some of these requirements, but you want to help advocate for others, you can also volunteer for these.
Please, I would love to hear from you about volunteering.
And again, if you are a single parent, you may not be in school, you may not, need to apply, but you know someone who does, you know what a scholarship like this would have done for you if you were in this situation. Consider being a volunteer and advocate for those who need the help. I've learned over the course of the past week, doing some research on the side and having to talk with members from the city of Jonesboro leading up to the Volunteer Appreciation Gala. This, not just our state, but our economy on a nationwide level benefits from volunteerism. It has been reported, I want to say $24 and some change per hour is what has been equated to how much time, if you had to put a money value on a volunteer hour, it's $24 and something per hour. So think about the money that businesses are saving, nonprofits are saving by utilizing volunteers for their agency. And then think about the social, physical, mental benefits you receive from volunteering. That was a big surprise to me. I never thought about it on that level, but looking back at my experience, if I wasn't volunteering here, I would just be at home watching TV, doing nothing, being not as productive as I am. So if you're someone who's looking for something to do, you need to kind of get out of what you're doing, the rut you're in. You know, you need to just add some spice to your life, whatever the case. You want to socialize, network, and just overall feel better. Consider volunteering. Please
do.
Please reach out to Miss Wendy at Stotts, STOTTS, at ASPSF.org. I know it's a lot of letters, but it is. But it stands for the Arkansas Single Parent Scholarship Fund. So go to their website, look around, apply if you're eligible, encourage someone else to apply, and consider volunteering.
Please.
Yes, we need more volunteers. The city, state, nation needs more volunteers, period.
Thank you, Kabila. It's always a joy to be here with you, and contact me. Let me work you through the application, single parents. I'd love to.
Yes, and then don't forget also the fundraising, the very fun. I don't have a daughter, but moments like this make me wish I had a daughter. So there is a fundraising event coming up in February, and we'll definitely have Mrs. Wendy back again to talk about that. Beauty and the Beads, which is centered around Disney princesses and jewelry, and there'll be a professional belle there, and so many more fun things. So we'll be on the lookout for that information coming back to you again. As we get a flyer, we'll definitely pass on that information. All right, so any final words you would like to share?
I appreciate the work you're doing here and just the difference that it makes, and that's what we're about, is making a difference, and specifically for single parents. So I love this partnership that I get to come and spend time with you guys, and you're always so supportive, and just reach out to me and let me know if I can help you in your pursuit of your higher education, single parents. I'd love to do that.
All right, we want to see everyone get the help and support they need. So please, if you know someone, I'm going to say it again, if you know someone, please encourage them to apply. And before I go, just wanted to let you know today is the National Voting Day, so please get out and vote. I can't tell you who to vote for, but I encourage you to exercise your right and your privilege to vote. Polling sites for Craighead County are listed on the Craighead County Clerk's Facebook page. If you just want to go to your neighborhood, go to Voter View on Google and type in your address, where you're located, and it'll give you the information on your closest polling place. So thank you everyone for listening to KLK 102.5 FM. Thank you for supporting us. We could not do what we do without you. So thank you, Miss Wendy, for joining us today.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Right. Stay tuned for tomorrow, first Wednesday of the month, where we have the Chief of Police and whoever else he brings with him, sharing some valuable information about the Jonesboro Police Department. Everyone have a great and blessed day. Try to stay warm and dry.